because it's not how much money you make. Everybody talks about top line revenue, this, top line like that. What do you actually put in your pocket? Somebody tells me they have 3,000 units, or they tell me they have $100 million of real estate under management. Well, that's great. But what does that mean? You might only own 1%. I want to know that you're making, what's net that in your monthly account each month. That's the real important thing.
All righty, folks, it is official. Bo Eckstein is a published author. From Paycheck to Freedom, Why Owning a Business is the fastest and easiest way to financial prosperity. It's out there. It's on Kindle. You can pre-order it right now. And folks, author Bo Eckstein and the one and only Tom Wheelwright. Yes, Bo and Tom just published From Paycheck to Freedom. Bo, how's it feel? It's been a long time coming.
It's great. And when I think back about how this book came to fruition, I think that's an important thing for everyone, right? I happen to be in the same room, actually a Zoom room, and one of my YouTube mentors, Evan Carmichael, was interviewing Tom. And I said, hey, after the interview was done, I raised my Zoom hand. I said, Tom, I'm a huge fan. I actually have all your books because I believe in I started talking about the triangle method. And so we connected, and he said, yeah, I like the idea of your book. Let's connect a little bit more. And so we met a few times, and then, hence, several months, maybe 6 or 7 or 8 months, whatever it's been later, we got the book releasing at the end of March. So it's very exciting. So I think there's a couple points. One is when you're clear on your mission, things fall in line, right? I became clear on my mission to help 100,000 aspiring entrepreneurs become successful business owners. 2 is you also have to, if you want something, you have to go for it, right? Like I could have not said something to Tom, and Tom would have said, right? But I had it in the mind. And I think mindset's a huge thing. When we talked about Tom, one of your, Jared, big fan of Tom Wheelwright's, and like he shot a video and I sent it to Tom because he's like, Tom Wheelwright changed my life. I read his book, and like Tom's impacted so many amazing people. And obviously Tom is Robert Kiyosaki's CPA, and Robert wrote the forward for us. So, I mean, it's really
wait. You just dropped a bomb there. Are you telling me Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Cash Flow Game, wrote the forward for your book? That you just let that slip by, my friend. That's no slouch right there.
Yeah. He's only sold like 41 million copies of
books. Lightweight.
Yeah, so
crazy. Good for you.
But what is like the moral of the story? I think the moral of the story is, look, we all have something unique to say, just like when you started the YouTube channel, right? You came out there and now you've created a movement. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to create a bigger and bigger movement. I really want to affect more than 1 million people, and I think I can easily do that. And what does it take? It takes all the things we talk about: doing the work, staying consistent. And the more I build that daily discipline, the more things fall in line for me, right? And so sometimes, for a long time, being transparent, I would get frustrated, and I'd be like, man, I know so much and I study and I'm not getting the results. But really, when you really can dig down and build the grit, and that those calluses on the hands and the calluses in the mind, it's amazing what you can do. So if you look at Zuber's YouTube story, I look at that and say, look, he shot 2,000 or 3,000 videos without ever seeing any results from it. It takes that type of grit and determination for whatever you want to do. And let me tell you, I'm like the KFC Colonel Sanders. He didn't start KFC till he was 50, and I'm 47. And what I can tell you is I'm just getting started. I am just getting started. And so what is that? That's just that constant energy, being around, getting around the event 2 weeks ago, the ORaaT event. I mean, just getting so inspired, networking with people you haven't seen in a year. I got to hang out with Ty. We snuck out. We didn't tell anybody, but we went to a Mexican taqueria and had really amazing tacos El Gordo. So that really inspired me, just communicating with Ty, because I hadn't seen him in a while. And that is the power of getting in the right rooms.
Yeah, I think there's so much there. I just want to hit it again. You've done a lot of things, and you're really a mentor and leader to me as well. You talk about Evan Carmichael, right? One of the great social media guys, and you paid to be in and around him, right? It's one of your mentors, one of your educators. That room allowed you to get around Tom, right? You listened to that. You took your shot. You followed up. You had conversations. You pitched an idea that was seen as valuable to Tom, right? Then you had 6 or 7 months working through iterations and all of this. And your name will now for always be connected, right? This book, From Paycheck to Freedom, is your launching pad. It is your calling card. It is your triangle, right? It's the vision that you've talked about. And I'm just so proud of you. I know writing a book is an ordeal. It's writing a book is hard. Editing a book is harder, right? Which people don't really understand. I think editing a book is 5-10 times harder than writing a book because you got to make sure you keep your voice and your theme and all of those things tie together. And I love that you've been very clear about your desire to help 100,000 people. I think you're well on your way to doing that, 1 million people. And I'm glad that you show up here each and every week to bring us a new insight but we keep the principles the same, right? Focus, daily discipline, grow your network, trim your network, get rid of the haters. It's so fun to watch you. It's so fun to watch you blossom.
Yeah, I think what I found myself doing recently, which has really been helping me, is really like I'm always thinking like 5 or 6 steps down the road. For example, I was like, I would really like after, being on seeing events and things. I love events. And I was like, I want to host. I used to host events when I lived in California. So I had the vision of hosting an event here in Las Vegas. And then I said, oh, Michael's done the Blind Center and like it goes for a good cause. That's a perfect venue. You're not paying a ridiculous amount of money to be on the Strip. And it's a great little place to have events. And like, so I had the vision to like, I'm a member of a mastermind group called Go Abundance. There's 850 millionaires. It's probably one of the largest mastermind groups in the US. And it was founded by Tim Rode, Pat Hyben, David Osborne, who owns the largest conglomerate of Keller Williams. He's, net worth well over $200 million. Tim Rode, Pat Hyben, Mike McCarthy. And so they founded this group years and years ago. And I got introduced to Tim and I used to feel like, oh, I'm the little peon because everybody was really wealthy. But that group has grown dramatically. And so like, I was like, man, I would love, they do an event in Austin because that's where David Osborne is and Matt King, who's now the CEO. And it's called Austin Entrepreneurial Summit. And I was like, man, I want to throw a West Coast version of that, right? And so it'd be called Vegas Entrepreneurial Summit. So the point I'm making here is like, they don't know it yet, but that's my intention. And so like, then I backfill how am I going to accomplish that? Because I want their support because obviously they have a huge name and we can fill the room. And this event, the idea is really all about entrepreneurship. We have potentially a guy in Go Abundance with me. Dallin is going to help me. He's like a marketing whiz. So we're going to have like a marketing and like entrepreneurship kind of themed event. And so like, will it come to fruition? I don't know, but because I set the intentions, it will. And I think that's a powerful thing. It's like goal setting, but I goal set first in my mind and then I make it happen and backtrack, reverse engineer how to make things happen.
I love it. I love it. Well, let's give them a little tease. What can people look for if they go on Amazon, get the Kindle or pre-order? What are they going to get from the book, From Paycheck to Freedom?
Yeah, it's just putting everything together that we talk about. The whole strategy of like first of all, you don't necessarily need to quit tomorrow and right, because a lot of people have fear. I'm working with one ORaaT gentleman right now, and he's like, look, I have fear to quit. He wrote it in an email. I have fear to quit my W-2 job. And to me, I don't have fear anymore in that capacity. I'm like, because I'm so used to not having to worry about like a steady paycheck. But I get it. I get it for the masses of people that have never been, they've the golden handcuffs, right? So one is there a strategic way to break free of the golden handcuffs? And it doesn't mean you have to break free, but you should own a business on top of whatever you're doing. And that is because the tax code was not written for W-2. It's written for small business owners. That's going to continue to happen. Look what is happening all over the space. Like, you got to understand how you can take advantage quite legally of the system, because you're basically growing America, right? Like, I'm hiring people, I'm buying materials, I'm buying trucks. We're paying our fair share of taxes no matter what. but you might as well figure out how you can actually do it in a way where you increase your cash flow, increase your bottom line, because it's not how much money you make. Everybody talks about top line revenue, this top line like that. What do you actually put in your pocket? Somebody tells me they have 3,000 units, or they tell me they have $100 million of real estate under management. Well, that's great, but what does that mean? You might only own 1%. I want to know that you're making, what's net that in your monthly account each month. That's the real important thing, not your net worth. Of course, your net worth grows, right? If you own appreciating assets, it's going to grow. But putting this whole plan together and giving people like a roadmap is basically what the book does. And yeah, I mean, I think it aligns with my mission. And now that I've book's about to be released, I've accomplished something that I haven't accomplished before, which is being a published author. I look back and I realize I have to start celebrating the successes. I think we all do. I've done a lot in my life. I remember one guy, he's very successful syndicator, and he told me, I got started speaking on your stage, back in the day when I used to do these RIAs in the Bay Area. And I'm just thinking, like, how many of those things have I been a part of? How many partnerships between people and different things like that? And I've been a part of a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of good connections. So that's why I'm really excited about releasing my first book, which will open up doors for me to get on bigger stages and so forth, but also to really help people, because I want to help everybody. I have 10 to 15 conversations a day with people that need to be helped. And they just need the right encouragement and a little bit of information to go out on their own and then, reap the rewards of owning some sort of business.
I'm just going to give you a little taste. This is coming directly from the Amazon page. Again, the book title is From Paycheck to Freedom. Scrolling down, looking over the book overview, here are 3 topics. Actually, let me expand this. There's actually 4 topics I'll read. From Paycheck to Freedom, you will discover the roadmap to becoming a business owner. Why small business ownership is the key to financial freedom. Overcoming the fear of leaving your job. And then finally, building a legacy, not just a business. Folks, this and more from the one and only Bo Eckstein, Tom Rilroy. Go get it. Go get the pre-order. From Paycheck to Freedom. Bo, closing thoughts?
Hey, thanks. If you do the pre-order, I appreciate you. I will probably have to do something for you for the pre-order, and then hopefully a nice recommendation or rating after you get to read the book. But I definitely will put together like a Zoom mastermind for anybody that goes ahead and pre-orders the book.
Let's do this. Let's actually agree that we will do a author review. So we'll give my audience a month or so to get the book. Actually, it comes out on March. So maybe like the first week of May, we'll do a Zoom call with anybody who got the book so they can ask questions and things of that nature. Why don't we agree to do something like that?
I would love to. Yeah, that would be fantastic. And take it easy. It's my first book. So, I'm like anything. The next book I do, I'll get better and better. And I'm just excited that I actually did it. And to see something come out to fruition is amazing. Just like when I did in 2013, I did a house flipping show on HGTV. And that was an amazing experience. And like I always said, I wanted to do TV again. And I actually am doing I don't know if I told you this yet, Super, but we're in the planning stages right now to do another reality show, but it actually in the business ownership space. And it's going to be more of a self-funded project. The hope is to get it picked up by major networks eventually. So I should get a producer credit on that, because I actually enjoyed when I did TV. One is I realized how fake reality TV is, but I enjoyed, like, that whole thing was fun. Yeah. So I'll look back at my life and I'll be excited to, like, all these experiences. That's what I think people really like, what I get out of it. It's not about making tons of money. For me, it's about the fulfillment of, like, getting on stages and helping people and talking to people and networking with people. That's more impactful than anything you can do. So that's like, when I do the TV shows, it's just another platform to, showcase like real estate investing or, buying a franchise or a business. So we're going to start, filming that we're filming the pilot at the end of April. So I'm excited for that too. So I'm doing a lot of cool stuff right now. And
you are.
It makes me happy.
You're going to be a star. You're going to be a star. Bo, you're amazing. Folks, go to runrentalmeeting.com. book a call, get your 15 minutes, and of course, go get the pre-order. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.